Hey, what's up, critters? I am Wayward Dreams, this is my art, and you are watching my weird channel. I just wanted to start off by saying thank you to everybody that subscribed and commented, and I just wanted to let you know that it truly makes my day anytime that I get to read anything that you've said to me. So, because I am so grateful, and also because YouTube will let me have my own URL after 100 subscribers, I'm going to propose to you guys a raffle. And your ticket's going to be whenever you screenshot and send me anytime that you have shared one of my videos or my channel. So if you send me a number of those, you get a number of tickets. There's still going to be rules, so be sure to check the description below. But if after I reach the fated 100, I draw your name, then I will not only credit you for a piece of artwork that you have given me the idea to paint, but I will send you the physical canvas. Yes, canvas, not digital. And it will be signed, and I will mail it to your abode. So be sure to check the description for the rules and let me know if you are interested in participating. With that, I just want to let you know that what I'm working on today is a tutorial. I've been asked several times to do one, and I've broken it up into 3 parts because it's way too difficult to cram a lot of information into just one 15-minute piece. So I've broken this up into 3 parts. This part is going to be the black and white sketch. And the next one's going to be basic coloring. The final one is going to be some finishing and effects. So be sure to hang in there through all of it. I hope you pick up something that you really can use later on and enjoy. I have called this one Infestation, and it's a shout out for all of you cybertech junkies just like me. If you aren't just like me, that's okay too. Hopefully you'll still find something in it that you can use. But I've called it this because I think that everybody goes through a time in their life where they feel overwhelmed by something, whether it's physically, like you're fighting off an alien invasion of bugs, or mentally, you just can't handle anything anymore if the universe has piled up too much crap on your shoulders. Or sometimes maybe, like, you might work too much. Maybe your family doesn't work enough. Maybe you're doing 12-hour days at, 7 days at a time. And believe me, I get you. I've done it. We've all kind of been there. I guess what I'm trying to say there is that take the crappy things in your life and turn it into some sort of inspiration, because the world can use that. And they might not know exactly what you're going through. You probably won't know exactly what I'm going through by the end of this one either. But I think you'll get the idea. And that's the point, is that art takes mundane, stupid life and turns it into something spectacular. We hope. Because art is subjective. And sometimes there will be haters, and it doesn't matter what you do or how good you do it. There's always going to be somebody that doesn't like what you do. That's fine. And that's why I'm also trying to lay out a lot of the things that I fail at during this piece. That's okay too. If you're working through your process, then you're not failing, you're just processing. Enjoy the process, enjoy the artwork. Before I get into it, I just wanted to thank Aaron Bateleur, as always, for doing such an incredible job on all of my videos, and also Base Eclectics, who has kindly allowed me to use a lot of their music in my videos lately. And I think that they're just such a mind trip, so I'm going to include their SoundCloud below. You should really check them out. They've got a lot of interesting stuff. It's really like ambient cool. And well, heck, I enjoy them. So give them a listen. Why don't you? Support your local artists. Synergy is good. All right, so I guess I've gotten all of that stuff out of the way. Let's go art. Okay, so let's dive right into this tutorial, shall we? Let's see how I do. Okay, first off, I start out with my gray background and lots of blobs of color. What that does is it shows you if your composition is sound before you actually start the brunt of your sketching. Especially at this phase, you really don't want to fall in love with any of your first lines. You're just kind of trying to lay out what kind of idea you have without getting lost in detail. And it's important not to fall in love with your first line because often they are wrong. No matter what you think, your first lines are usually not right. Especially if you're a young artist, and that doesn't necessarily mean age. That can just mean how much time you've even put into the subject. I would still consider myself in the ranks of fairly novice. So that's why I am broadcasting all of my screw-ups here for you to see. As you're starting to shade in things, you get a really decent idea of what your forms are doing and if your line work was ever correct in the first place. Because sometimes if you're looking at a sketch, just a sketch, your eyes and your mind will actually play tricks on you and tell you something is more correct than it is. And that can be pretty deadly when it comes to artwork. One line can change absolutely everything. Okay, so now with the shading, you're going to start trying to figure out where your lighting is. And that can be kind of tricky if you haven't figured out your background yet. But you're still going to want to try and guess. And that can change. Everything ultimately changes in art, like this, right now. Look at that. I've decided that those legs are not dynamic. So I've tried to do a couple of different other dynamic poses. This one seems to have been oddly satisfying to me for some weird reason, but it's still not right. See, check that out. I still had to change the knees. And continue to look up stuff like, especially when you're trying to do like a dynamic pose or a dynamic, like a really emotive face, or even the weapon I've got here. You're going to want to continue to look up reference on these things because nobody can actually remember everything that they ever saw in their head 100%. It's not cheating. I can't stress that enough. I know that it's kind of a trope to say that, but it really, really isn't. It should never be considered something that lessens you as an artist. In fact, it makes you grow a lot more. Because you can think that you're drawing a hand from memory, but really what you've done is you've drawn a brick with like 5 noodles on it. You can swear that you've drawn a face. Look at that face. I have to fix that face. I'm busy fixing the gun now. But you can swear up and down that you know exactly what it looks like, and it's just not going to be the case. So give up a little bit of your pride and go look up some pictures. I'm not saying copy. I'm saying use them to figure out all the things that your mind will inevitably blank out on. And weapons, it's really important too. Like futuristic weapons, like what I've tried to do here, I'm trying to marry something that looks like it's functional with something that looks like it could have come from maybe 20, 30 years in the future. Maybe the military already has something like it, and I'm just an idiot. But, you know, I'm trying to keep that future tech sort of look to it. And the thing about weapons is that they're actually another character in your piece if you're using it. So try not to like slouch on that. Because the minute you introduce one, it's half of your character's personality, and it should have a personality itself. It should have detail, it should have depth, you know, name it. Here is the crux of the piece right now. I'm drawing these little drones. I've drawn little circles to indicate kind of where I want them. And I've kind of done a mixture between a little drone that I like to draw in cartoon form and squiddies from the Matrix, and also probably EDE from Fallout. All of these little guys kind of mixed in. I don't know. They're sort of cute, but also, as we know, can be quite lethal. Hence the guns. You see the gun? I don't know if you do. But I like their kind of little buggy, squiddy, jellyfishy sort of look. And in order to make more of these, if I really want an infestation sort of looking thing, what I want to do is I made him on a separate layer, and then I'm gonna select him with the lasso tool. I'm gonna copy and paste a whole bunch of them, but at different sizes, different angles. You want to start changing little details about them, and then draw other ones in the background from different angles. Changing little details helps to keep it from looking like you copy-pasted it. If you're doing a lot of identical tech, go ahead and utilize something like that, especially in something that... This isn't really a speed painting per se, but it is supposed to be really fast. So if I need to do something super fast, then try and utilize the tools that you have. And now it's time for a blobby blurry background. And the blobby blurry background pretty much just is there to let you know kind of what's going on at this stage. You don't have to know exactly what's going on unless you've got a really clear indication. Me, I just decided that I wanted something radial in the background, and I have no idea what that is. None. It could be just about anything, but it looked cool, so that's why we're going with that. And by the way, I'm also doing this because watching artists screw up is fun and educational. Because it lets you know that you're not really a screw-up, because other artists do it all the time. We're always changing things. We're always deciding that something that we did was stupid. And that's okay. It's the process. And if you don't enjoy the process, then you probably shouldn't be doing art. I mean, there is that time where you look at something and you want to scream and throw your Wacom out the window, or whatever it is that you're using. I don't consider it a project unless I've sworn at it a bunch, but, you know, really, just relax, get into it, let it kind of flesh its own self out. Okay, so metal. Metal and vinyl and leather have quite a lot in common, and that is that there are parts that are super extremely shiny, they catch light, you know, but the part that actually catches the most amount of light is actually really small in comparison to anything else. So like vinyl, you'll see like really tiny bright white spots the closer that it gets the light, and then it kind of fades out into like a weird sort of a gradient, and then it's black. And metal has a lot of the same thing, except for that there seems to be a lot more going on with bounce lighting most times. Metal reflects color and light from absolutely everywhere, and it's really important to remember that when you're making anything metal. And there's a lot of this in this piece. There's a lot of, like, I'm assuming her pants are somewhere between vinyl and leather. I have no idea. Her gun, the drones, the boots, the, you know, the weird stuff in her head, even the background. I think the background is going to be metal. Not sure, though. Seems the safest bet, though. Okay, so I've got another couple of layers on here. They are multiply and glow dodge. And multiply helps to deepen some extra shadows while not messing up what you've drawn on the layer below. And then glow dodge I like especially for anything tech or cyberpunk, because it allows a lot more of that, like, that neon glow to come through. Alright, that's it for part 1 of this piece. Keep an eye out for the next couple of parts. I'm going to release them over the next couple of days. We're going to go over some coloring and some finishing techniques. It's going to be a blast, I hope. You can watch me mess up some more. As always, remember to like and subscribe to this channel. You can also find me on DeviantArt, Instagram, and Twitter. Just look up Wayward Dreams. We'll see you next time.